So let's have a look at how to edit photos for real estate in 10 easy individual or combined steps. These are not the detailed instructions, but what you need to know if you're going to be photographing real estate. Remember, photo editing for real estate aims to have stunning, crisp photos that look natural. If you over-edit your photos, they'll look fake and exaggerated. Oversaturated, colour-augmented images are a mistake in real estate photography, where buyers want realistic, accurate images of listings. The value of real estate photography is to help agents sell a listing, and for that you need to provide captivating but natural-looking real estate photos. Lastly, keep in mind that photo editing for real estate can take many hours, so the following ideas aim at simplifying that workflow. Real estate photography editing is essential for any successful real estate photography and sales business. Regarding editing tools and software, most real estate sales professionals are becoming familiar with Affinity Photo. It's a low-cost solution with no subscriptions, it's very portable, it transfers between iPad and desktop, that's Mac and PC, and is easy to use. So with that in mind, let's take a closer look at how to edit real estate photos in 10 easy steps. And the first of these is HDR blending. High dynamic range is probably one of the most commonly used photo editing techniques in real estate photography. And you can see the image, we've got 3 separate exposures there. And the idea of HDR blending is to take those 3 separate exposures and blend them into one perfect example. And there's the after shot there, HDR blending of 3 images. This process blends multiple images taken at different exposures and combines them in post-processing to create one perfectly blended image. The result is a crisp, bright, perfectly exposed image. No multiple exposures are needed, trying to balance the exact framing. Just one photo with triplicate copies and each image exposed and contrast adjusted as you like. One darker, one as taken, one not so dark, although it could be very light to blow out shadows. The final image after the 3 adjusted images are blended with the HDR option. Perfectly smooth, with no deep shadows nor blown out highlights. And that's only one way of doing it. Some cameras, most modern DSLR cameras, come with the HDR blending option for framing different photos at different exposures come built into the camera. Some good general purpose camera settings for beginners without lights and flashes or wireless tethering are as follows. Set your ISO to 400. Set it to AV mode, that's aperture priority. Set the f-stop to 7.1. Now exposure bracketing is the option I was just talking about. This one will create up 3 to 7 shots at different exposures quite automatically. And you set your 3 shots in this case, which is usually enough, at -3, 0 and +3 in the exposure bracketing settings. And the drive mode set to a 2-second timer. So that's every 2 seconds it'll take an exposure at -3, an exposure at 0 and an exposure at +3, all 2 seconds apart. You'll hear your camera doing it. These settings will produce an underexposed image, a normally exposed image and an overexposed image. By using exposure bracketing along with the 2-second timer, the camera will automatically fire 3 shots at 3 different exposure values. The 2-second timer also allows you to push the button without shaking the camera. You will want the camera to focus at room in most cases. Focusing on something too close to the camera will result in everything farther away being out of focus. But focusing on something in the house farther away will also allow most of the room or space to be in focus. You won't find yourself ruining photos by focusing across the room, but you might ruin a photo if you accidentally focus too close. Now, when it comes to adjusting saturation levels, this is option 2. HDR bracketing was the first option to look at and the most commonly used one. The second one is adjusting saturation levels. Brightness and colour saturation levels are fundamental photo editing concerns. A photo can be over or undersaturated for a variety of reasons, including the effects of natural or artificial lighting, camera settings, and possibly the use of flash. Now here you have saturation levels are too high. It's a very washed out photo. Using the HSL adjustment tool, you can correct this. And this is in the Adjustment Studio on Affinity Photo. You can correct the colour levels on any image, making them look bright and appealing. Just a few movements of the saturation slider, and you've suddenly got a colourful and bright room. Using the HSL adjustment tool in the Adjustment Studio is really quite easy. It's in the Adjustment Studio to the right. It brings up that drop-down menu where you can adjust the saturation levels to your needs and save the photo. Very quick, very simple. Now, the third option is line straightening. As you can see in the image there, the verticals of the door passageway through into the, what is that, an outside area, they look like they're not vertical. They look like they're slanting out a bit. Vertical and horizontal lines that don't converge are common issues in interior real estate photography. Verticals in interiors especially can be troublesome. In this image you can see the verticals I have placed against the wall openings to emphasize the odd shaping, and you can see there are two vertical lines there that go right through the image, and they emphasize the fact that the wall edges there are not truly vertical or not shown as vertical in the image. With the perspective tool to straighten the verticals from each side, a quick and simple fix to make the room look like it's actually built with straight walls. And using that tool you can see it's brought out the edge of the walls so that they're vertical, or they appear to be vertical. And of course they are in real life. The perspective fixed. These perspective mishaps occur from a variety of causes, including the curvature of the camera lens, where in the room the photographer was standing or how they held the camera. Even the shape and size of the room can contribute to such issues. Thankfully, you can fix this issue with a simple retouch called a perspective correction. This editing technique corrects the misalignment of any lines. The other option is noise reduction. Now, noise or grain in an image can be really off-putting. It decreases an image's clarity and quality, making it look hazy or blurred. Home buyers love crisp, clear photos of the listings they're interested in. Unwanted noise in your images can be the result of any of the following: unexpected camera movement, too long exposure time, lens focus issues. And once in Affinity Photo, click the Live Filter tool, then Noise Reduction. Once in Affinity Photo, click the Live Filter tool, then Noise Reduction, and noise can be subtle and is often introduced in poorly framed photos or incorrect film settings. Unfortunately, it's relatively easy fixed. Colour casting. These issues are hard to notice when taking your photos, but they show up later when you review your work. This is number 5 of the number of options you can look at for good real estate photography. Now consider these common instances. A tinted ceiling casts an unwanted hue over the walls of the room. Warm shaded light bulbs add a yellow tone to the items in the room. Or the room has a bluish tinge from fluorescent or LED lighting. Fortunately though, through editing, you can neutralise and remove the unwanted tint affecting the colours. Easily correct it by adding a pixel layer. Flood fill it with a neutral colour selected from the image and set its blend mode to soft light. You can also adjust colour casting if you need to with the HSL tool. And you can see there that it's cleaned up a lot of that colour casting from the last photo. The lamp in the corner particularly is no longer casting a yellow glow in the corner of the room. Now adding objects is an interesting one. Sometimes you look at recently taken real estate photos and realise how much better the shot could have been if only a particular item had been added. Examples of such occurrences include the following. Adding a vase of flowers to a dining room table or kitchen counter. Having a warm fire in the fireplace, and you'll notice this one in this shot has no such fire in the fireplace. Placing a cosy bench on the front patio, or even adding a colourful throw pillows to outdoor furniture. Adding objects isn't exactly an easy real estate photo editing task, so in these situations, use the Place tool in Affinity Photo. Now, as I mentioned, adding a fire to the fireplace just gives that added touch of life to the room. Locate a fire image that's suitable, place it and adjust it to suit. You can see we've now got a nice little fire going in that fireplace. So easy. Object removal is another major concern in real estate photography. Often a real estate photographer will notice unwanted objects in their images. For example, unwanted objects commonly include the following. Power cords or cables from lamps or computer equipment. Telephone or power lines attached to the exterior of the house. A car in the driveway or parked on the street. Dishes in a sink, smeared windows or lint on furniture. These and related issues can be addressed in Affinity Photo using the clone stamp tool or simply the inpainting tool. Using the inpainting tool on a blank pixel layer to remove the power cable is one way of doing it. Now we had a stair railing in front there, but I've left some of the shadow of the railing in this image to demonstrate that you can actually remove such objects. Now if you look closely at that, you'll see where the railing used to be. Now I've done a fairly rough job of removing that, but I wanted to show you how different that photo looks with that railing removed. And I left a shadow of it there so you can see where it was. Now, the other option number 8, is sky replacement. Now you can see that rather pale, uninteresting photo there, with a couple of trees seemingly growing up out of the house. Real estate photographers may be highly skilled, but controlling the weather isn't usually one of their talents. Cloudy days can result in grey, dull and unappealing skies over a beautiful home, distracting from its overall look. Sunny blue skies make people smile and real estate photos look more appealing. Properties and colours come alive on bright days under blue skies. Fortunately, sky replacement is a reasonably easy photo editing technique, allowing you to add blue or dramatic skies to any listing. Now I've replaced the grey sky with a bright blue sky and removed the trees that were growing from behind the buildings. Use the brush selection tool in Affinity Photo and place an image of a nice sky in place of the removed sky. Quick and easy. It makes a dramatic difference to the image. Now option number 9 is not one you will use a lot, I wouldn't think, but photographing a house at dawn or twilight can add appeal to the exterior photos. However, producing high quality images under such lighting conditions can be challenging. And you can see there that's quite a nighttime shot, but the houses themselves are quite indistinct. Once again, photo editing software comes to the rescue. Adding twilight effects to the sky and exterior lighting is easy and can help achieve the following. increase sophistication to the look and feel of a property, a bit of additional drama, or as a mood booster to the scene. Not having to worry about the weather or the time of day to do the photo shoot. So in a few easy steps, you can add twilight effects when exploring how to edit your real estate photos to make them even more stunning. And there's our examples. You've got twilight shots there, but one's before and one's after. And it's your pick which one you use. But it's that simple method of adjusting the scene that makes it more look twilight than one other. The last one is grass greening and landscape enhancing. A lush, fully green lawn is a definite selling point for any property. However, the time of year, a lack of rain or excessive heat can brown a lawn or make it look spotty. Few things distract from a beautiful home like a dying lawn. Once again, turn to Affinity Photo to adjust the colour of your lawn and even enhance other landscaping in your photos. Use the channel mixer to adjust the colours, bring up the green of the vegetation and sharpen up the house and sky with a bit of selective brush selection. Okay, well that's about it for this one. What I will do coming along is do individual videos for each of these options so that you can follow them how they're done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.